Hi guys, I'm Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk to you about my March TBR. I'm going to start with the books I am currently reading, and the first one is actually Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. This is the first book in the Expanse series. I don't even know how many books this series is going to be, but this is the first book, and this series is a gigantic space opera. I saw this book in a bookstore secondhand, and I just really wanted it because I've heard people on BookTube talking about this, so I am currently reading it, and it is very fascinating so far. I have no clue what's going on. Like I said, it is a space opera. It follows, for now, two characters' perspectives, but there is a huge cast of characters so far, and I'm just getting to know all of them. But so far it is about these two characters who are both actually trying to investigate what is going on with this huge abandoned spaceship they encounter. Well, one of them encounters this spaceship and then sees his own spaceship because he went out to this spaceship to explore it. I use spaceship a lot in a sentence, but he sees his own spaceship being exploded, which by a ship he thinks is from Mars. He basically starts a war against the Martians, and then there's this other character, and he's basically in security trying to quell the riot that is going on because of this character announcing the war against the Martians. If you follow me still, that is what I am currently reading. I am not far in. I think I am currently 100 pages in, but it's a 500 plus page book. I think every single book in the series is huge, but I am enjoying it so far, so yeah. Then the second book I am currently reading is Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. This is the third book in the Diviner series. I heard someone say that it's going to be a 6-book series, which I didn't know. I thought it was a trilogy, but apparently this book ends on a cliffhanger. I cannot tell you a lot about this book because it is the third book in the series, but the first book, The Diviners, it takes place in the 1920s. It is historical fiction / urban fantasy. It follows all of these characters who meet each other, who have special powers. In the third book, they're actually trying to extricate some ghosts from the world, basically from New York City alone, because that's where it all takes place, and still trying to solve the mystery that has been spanning the past 3 books. So yeah, I am enjoying it so far. It is still very creepy. All of these 3 books have been holding up very well with the creepiness factor. There is an asylum in this third book, and you follow all of these different characters because they're all in this asylum and they're all in different places, so you follow all the different situations they're in with the ghosts in the asylum, and it is super creepy, and I just kept turning pages, well, digital pages because I'm reading it digitally, but I kept turning digital pages because I just needed to know what happens if all these characters would survive. I love it so far. I really do. I think I'm 300 pages in, and it's also a 500-page book, so I keep choosing big books apparently nowadays, but I am quite far in, and I cannot wait to finally finish this and see what I think of it, because I am quite afraid for the cliffhanger, not gonna lie. I'm very much looking forward to finishing this book and continuing on the series when the next book is coming out, because I think I'll have quite a wait in front of me. I think like a year still before the next book comes out, so that is quite a wait, and I don't know if I can deal with a cliffhanger. Then let's move on to the All About You challenge. I will link a challenge down below, but every month you get a different challenge for the books you have to choose to read that month. This month's challenge is to choose 4 books that have your current job, your dream job, or even your avocation, which is basically your hobby. I had a very hard time with this because I wanted to pick books for my TBR, and I don't have a current job. I'm a student. I don't really count it, and I don't even have a lot of books with college students in it. But aside from that, my dream job is to become a lawyer, and I don't have a lot of books on my TBR with lawyers in them either. So I just kind of cheated and chose some jobs that sounded interesting to me. The first book I actually want to talk about is Warcross by Marie Lu. This is the first book in the Warcross series. I do not know how long the series is going to be, but the main character in this book is a bounty hunter, and that sounds very interesting to me if I was living in a different world, not in our current world. But this is a science fiction story following a bounty hunter in an online game. She is chasing down people who are betting on this game called Warcross illegally, and then she gets contacted by the game's creator, and he kind of wants her to be a spy in this game, and she gets whisked off to Tokyo. So that is what this book is. I'm assuming there's some diversity in there because the name of the main character, she has a very Japanese name, and we're getting to Tokyo, so I'm assuming a lot of Japanese characters are in here. So yeah, I am excited about this. It's been on my TBR for a while. My boyfriend bought this book for me, and I cannot wait to start reading this because Marie Lu is one of my favorite authors, and this is her newest book, and I need to know how good it is. Another book I chose is one with a very vague synopsis, to be honest, and that is the Traitor Cormorant. This is the first book in the Cormorant series by Seth Dickinson. This book has been on my TBR for a while and it has been on multiple of my monthly TBRs, but I have never actually gotten to it, so I am set on getting to it this month. It's basically an epic geopolitical fantasy about a girl who is trying to get back her empire, I guess. It sounds kind of like people have been captured as slaves and she's trying to get back her empire from these conquerors. I don't know if this is true in any way or form, but that's what the synopsis sounds like to me. I like political fantasy, so I want to find out what this is actually about. The cover is also very, very intriguing, and that is what captured my attention in the first place. But the job that is in this is also very vague, but I was kind of assuming like a rebel leader, just a leader in general, and I like leader positions, so yeah, I cheated and went with that one. Then the book I basically took over from my February TBR because I didn't get to it is Crystal Storm, which is the 5th book in the Fallen Kingdom series by Rhodes. Like I said in my last TBR, not a fan of this series, but I want to finish it because the 6th book has come out recently, I believe, and there's the last book in the series, and I'm already on the 5th book, so let's just finish this series already, you know? Fallen Kingdoms, the first book, follows 3 kingdoms who are in a rivalry with each other, and a lot has happened since then, so I can't really say a lot. I barely remember the situation like it was in the first book, because the situation has changed so much. It follows characters from all these 3 kingdoms and they all meet each other, like different perspectives. They form different relationships. I guess that's all I can say about it. But Crystal Storm is still something I want to get out of the way, just like the 6th book, and I hope with every book it gets better, but it never does, so let's just get this over with. This will probably be the book that is going to be my last choice on my TBR. I've got a few books in here that I'm more interested in, so it might just get pushed back to another month. Who knows? For Fallen Kingdoms, the job I want to talk about was basically, I don't know, being a queen, being a princess. Cleo is a princess. I would like to be a princess. I count it as a job. The last book I want to talk about is Blackfish City by Sam J. Miller. I've read a book by Sam J. Miller before and I didn't really like it. I read this in e-arc as well. Blackfish City is also an e-arc I got for April. I always read my e-arcs a month before. I just encountered this. I recognized the author's name and I was like, this cover looks amazing. And then I read the synopsis and I was like, this synopsis sounds amazing. Just listen up, would you? It's about a floating city in the Arctic Circle, and then a woman riding an orca with a polar bear at her side comes into this city. And the whole city becomes basically entranced with this woman. And wait for it, she is known as the Orcamencer. But this Orcamencer brings 4 people together to basically start a rebellion, and all of them together try to save their city from corruption and death and all of the bad things. But doesn't it sound amazing? Like, I've been reading a lot of science fiction lately, and this one sounds super great. I hope I love the writing style, and I cannot wait to get to it. I'm thinking if I want to take a challenge for my TBR job, I'm probably not going to do it this month either. I didn't do it last month, and I don't think I should do it this month. So that was actually it for the books I want to read in March. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books and what do you think about them. Or do you want to read any of these books? Because admit it, Blackfish City sounds amazing. Anyway, let me know down below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!